This Earth Day, in addition to whatever you are planning for your cleanup or community project, I want to encourage you to spend some time celebrating the holiday in connection with nature. As our friends at Earth Gratitude remind us, when we have a relationship with something, when we really care about it, we treat it differently. When I interviewed Leah Penniman a few months ago, she told me that everything she has learned, she gleaned from nature. Leah, what have you learned from farming, from soil, from the rhythms of nature that has informed how you relate to the problems facing humanity?
So I'll say there is nothing significant that I have learned that informs my work that didn't come from nature. And I very much am inspired by and try to model my life by the example of Dr. George Washington Carver, who would go out into the forest in the pre-dawn hours in order to listen to the voice of God as it was transmitted through nature. He listened to the flowers, the trees, the crops in order to attain direction for which way to go, and really believed that nature was God's broadcasting system, speaking to us day and night if we would only listen. And, this type of, this perspective is really echoed by a number of wise Black Earth listeners, among them Audrey Peterman, who is famous for her work with the national parks. And she told me that she really thinks of nature as primary source, and that we've gotten into a dangerous game of telephone as fewer people are able to hear the voice of nature and really understand. And nature has many languages, the ice cores, the bird song or lack thereof, right? The CO2 concentration in the atmosphere, as well as these more like psycho-spiritual downloads of Dr. Carver. But very few people relative to the overall population can hear nature anymore. And so in this game of telephone, we're getting messages like third, fourth, fifth, eighth hand, and they're pretty distorted by the time they get to us. And so she sees the work of our generation as restoring that ability to listen. So all that to say, in my own listening practice, my own practice of coming to understand the voice of nature once again, many important messages have come through. One of them has been, I've had to humble myself and actually change my whole farm plan in order to adhere to what the soil wanted. We were about 90% annual vegetable crops in 2019. And now we flipped it. We're up to 75% and growing of perennial crops because the soil just said, enough disturbance. We really need stable root structures. And it takes a lot for a human being who's been conditioned to human supremacy ways of thinking to listen and heed what it is that the earth is saying. And there are myriad more examples. I would say that at least on a monthly basis, the earth is giving us some course correction and we try to tune in.
This is really so exciting. If somebody watching has never really gardened before and you want to inspire them to do so, what would you say?
If I wanted to inspire a new gardener to get involved, first I would just say, the earth loves you back. The earth is madly in love with you and is waiting for you to get on board. So come join this wonderful opportunity to be in relationship with life. And it doesn't have to be hard. My wonderful beloved woman soul sister Naima surprised me when we were doing some solidarity work with farmers in Haiti, and we had just arrived, and she pulled out of her bag a little glass jar with some mung bean seeds in it and proceeded to start rinsing them. And I was like, Naima, what are you doing? Naima said, I have to have my garden everywhere I go. And so in sprouting seeds, it's sort of the tiniest form of garden that we can have. And I guarantee you, once you see the miracle of those sprouts, you're going to want a pot of herbs, and you're going to want some microgreens. And then once you see the miracle of that, you're going to want container gardens on your back stoop, and then to scale up to a community garden plot. It's absolutely addictive in the most delightful way. And I just encourage folks to give it a try and see how the earth grabs you and pulls you into that sacred relationship.
So whatever you're doing to celebrate and honor Mother Nature on Earth Day, be sure to tag Food Revolution Network and Earth Gratitude. You can watch the full interview with Leah on our YouTube channel, and be sure to check out our Food Revolution Summit for more inspiring speakers and important messages. There's a link in our profile.